live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Game one in the books with Luca. The Luca era has begun. What a beautiful day. I mean, it's still surreal, right? Like watching Luca and LeBron on the basketball court hit his first three. I did my little live reaction. Well, it wasn't live reaction. I don't know why I did the finger thing, but yeah, did a live reaction. I posted it on the channel. Did like a little short too, but yeah, it's so crazy how that he's here, right? Like that him and LeBron are on the court together, sharing the court together. You know, you see Luca subbing in for LeBron. It's just, man, Jackson Hayes, man. Jackson Hayes is going to feast, man. He was just getting all kinds of lobs and stuff, and it's just getting started for him. And then whatever center the Lakers end up acquiring, maybe Alex Lynn. Alex Lynn isn't signing with Indiana anymore, so a lot of talks about him being a Laker. That could be interesting. But period, this was a really good moment, right? This is a history. Got the win, and you got it in like dominant fashion. This wasn't something where it was like a hard fought game or anything. I'm really excited to see how this team continues to shape up. I'm really excited to see how this team kind of comes together. Austin Reeves is going to have a field day, right? Because he's just going to be on lesser, like he's going to get lesser defense than what he's getting. So he should hopefully continue to be aggressive. I want to see him continue to be aggressive. He's going to be like having those three as your offensive shot creators and just bucket getters and stuff, I think is going to go a long way. I also think Reeves is going to learn a lot from Luka. I think Luka can kind of help him in a lot of ways. But, obviously great win period, right? Like Lakers are on a 6-game win streak. Play Utah again, which hopefully they handle business the same way again. It was great to see Luka. Obviously, he didn't have like this insane game, but he also is limited on minutes. Also, his first game back from injuries. I'm excited to see once he really starts to get in his groove, once he really starts to adjust and get comfortable and acclimated with his teammates and stuff. He only played 23 minutes this game, which he didn't have to play more, so that was good. Once he really starts to kind of get comfortable with this team and understanding, like, okay, where do guys like what? How do guys like this? I think that he's just gonna. Good luck, everybody else. Seriously, this is it is, and this team is playing so free, right? You see it. Teams just like they're just out there hooping, and you love to see that, right? Like you just see this team feel like you can tell that they feel like, oh, we can do this, right? Like we might actually win this thing, and they can genuinely. I mean, Luka and LeBron are good enough to get you conference finals at worst, right? Like they're good enough to beat most of the teams, even in the Western Conference, right? And I mean, you're talking about two of the greatest playoff performers, two of the greatest shot creators in the league, right? It's just, can our defense hold up well enough throughout a playoff series? And can other guys consistently step up in a way that we need them to? I mean, we scored 132 points. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the Utah Jazz, so it's not something where it's like, oh yeah, we scored. We didn't score 132 points against like Boston or something like that. But this is still, I mean, 132 points. It's probably going to be pretty common. It's probably going to be a pretty common thing that we're going to see. The Lakers putting up like insane totals. I think the Lakers are probably going to have the best offense. I think they'll end up having the best offense in the league, or at least at worst, they'll be top 3 offensively. I think they're going to be just a very good generated offensive team, right? You have the defensive pieces and Jared Vanderbilt as well as Dorian Finney-Smith, right? It's just our interior defense. Can Jackson Hayes hold up well enough? Team rebounding, we need to continue to team rebound. I still worry about Jackson Hayes in the rebounding department. I mean, he had what? How many did he have? He only had like, last I checked, earlier in the game, he had like 3, and it was like the third quarter. He ended up he finished with 2. I was actually wrong. Like that's a bit of a concern, right? Need him to rebound better, especially as a center. But we'll be fine. We'll figure it out one way or another. Jordan Goodwin, got to talk about Jordan Goodwin. He was, that dude was looked special, right? Lakers need to figure out how to get him on the roster, right? I mean, his rebounding, his mid range is butter, man. Like I know, I knew, I did it, talked about it in like a little breakdown video that he can knock down the midi. 3-point shooting is a little bit of a concern, although he was 50% tonight. But the mid range he's good at. He can operate in the mid range, apply some rim pressure, kind of get to his spots a little bit, self create a little bit. You saw it tonight. Obviously, the Lakers need a center over everything, so I imagine they'll get a center. But I might even do a video breakdown on this, either here or AS the Lakers show. But Lakers can technically get Jordan Goodwin and like a center, right? Like let's say it is Alex Len. It just depends on when they get him, right? So it's prorated, right? The contract. So great example was like, what was it, last year or 2 seasons ago? Lakers brought in Tristan Thompson, and he got like his contract was like $100,000, right? Because it was like at the very end of the season. Lakers will usually do that when they need to fill their 15th roster spot. They'll fill it like literally at the end of the season. So they just got to pay a guy, like $100,000 or $50,000 or whatever it is. So the longer the Lakers can wait, the more likely they can get multiple pieces, right? Because like right now, say, a guy is, let's say you could sign a guy right now for like 1.5 million. Well, then there's all your money, right? You could then, like, let's say you have like 200,000 left over or 300,000 left over after you sign that guy. Like 2 weeks out, you could waive another guy, right? So say you waive Christian Wood to bring in Alex Len. We'll just use him as an example, right? And then 2 weeks before the playoffs, you could waive, say, Cam Reddish and bring in like Jordan Goodwin, because his contract would only be like $200,000 or whatever, right? That's an option. That's something that they could do. But I imagine I still think the Lakers would be patient. Rob Pelinka said that he wants to resolve the center position in the next few days, so maybe they will. But I still I don't think you need to like rush it. Although you do play Denver in like 2 weeks, so maybe that's why. We'll see. I at least get through the All-Star weekend, right? Kind of evaluate things and then kind of figure it out from there. But yeah, this was a beautiful moment, right? Like this is great. But anyway, let's get in. I'm going to get into all the player breakdown real quick, and then I'll jump into all the super chat questions, all the regular chat questions. So trickle them in, and we'll get to them here in a moment. But diving into it, guys are feasted. Rui continues to play really well, shoot the ball really well. He also rebounded well this game. 8 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 6 from three. He's going to really benefit from just the quality of looks that he's going to get that are just going to be generated from Luka and LeBron. I mean, he missed a couple like wide open. I mean, there was no one around him. Threes. So, got to continue to knock them down. I mean, he shot 50%, so I'm not like complaining about this game, but just in general, he's going to get a lot of really good looks. He's got to make sure he's knocking them down with some consistency. 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 21 points. LeBron James, 10 of 17, 3 of 7 from three, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 7 turnovers. I don't like the 7 turnovers. Got to take care of the basketball. He's been much better lately, so I'm not going to like really harp on that. This game, he's been a lot better recently. Has been better at taking care of the basketball. He had that stretch where it was just like, dude, like, can you stop turning the ball over? Jackson Hayes again, 6-6 from the floor, all like lobs. The dude's just getting. I'm telling you, he's going to be a double-digit scorer just on lobs from LeBron and Luca. He's going to feast all game long. The dude's going to average. I said 12 to 14. I mean, he gave you 12 in the first game. I think that'll probably be around his average. My concerns with him, again, is just the defense, right? I mean, he had 3 steals and a block, but just against the better, bigger opponents, right? I worry about that. And then the rebounding, right? Rebounding and defense are a bit of a concern with Jackson Hayes, but, we'll see. We'll see how it progresses. Still very early. Austin Reeves was great. 6 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 9 rebounds, including 3 offensive, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 22 points. Again, just a very nice, well-balanced attack here. You had 7 guys in double figures. That's what you like to see from the Lakers. And then Luka, 5 of 14, didn't have the greatest shooting night, but again, first game back, he missed, what was it, 6 weeks or something like that, right? And he was on a minute restriction. Wait till he gets his legs under him. He's going to be, it's going to be, it's going to be unfair. But 5 of 14, 1 of 7 from three, 3 of 3 from the foul line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and then 14 points, and was a plus 15 for the Lakers out there. Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt, obviously offensively, are not like ideal, but just the hustle, the rebounding, the defense, right? The versatility. Those two guys are two guys that are really just going to apply the pressure and, are so key and so vital for this team, in my opinion. They really are. Gabe Vincent continues to play well. I really like what we're seeing from him defensively and shooting the basketball. He's been very good shooting the basketball. He was 4 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 8 from three-point range, which is still 37.5%, 4 assists, as well as 11 points, and was a plus 17. Jordan Goodwin, right? He was the sneaky MVP, right? Like 8 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 2 from three, 8 rebounds, including 3 offensive rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 17 points. And he follows that up with, I believe he had 10 points in the previous game. So again, just you got to find a way to try to get him on this roster at some point, right? I already broke down how the Lakers could potentially do that. So hopefully they do that. And Markieff, the champ, the Lakers champ, he ended up knocking down a 3-2 again. That's what 2 straight games for him in which he's knocked down a 3. So love to see it. But anyway, let's get into all of the regular chat questions, super chat questions, all of that stuff. Greatly appreciate it. And also, real quick, hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And let's get into it. So, Tyler, I've seen enough. Get Jordan Goodwin a contract ASAP. Yeah, I mean, look, Lakers still have to address the center position. You need a center. I think Jordan Goodwin would have definitely gotten a contract if it wasn't for the Knicks trade. We'll see what happens with the NBA. I already recorded the video. I will post it tomorrow. Excuse me. As soon as the news broke, I recorded the video, but it was like 30 minutes before the game started. So I was like, I'll wait to post it tomorrow. So I already have the video about that recorded and ready to go. I don't think anything's going to come of it. I don't think the Lakers are going to force them to do it. I'm not going to lie, though. Like I said in the video, but if the NBA would let them renegotiate, because the NBA is going to be a mediator, right? This is kind of unprecedented. We haven't really seen anything like this. So, again, I don't think the NBA is going to enforce this, right? Like, because Lakers aren't just doing it because they had a change of heart, right? They're doing it because they have the paperwork, right? So the NBA is going to be like, what's the deal? Lakers are going to submit that. They're going to look at it, and they're going to go like, okay, sounds good, right? Like, and then that's it. My hope is, like, what I would love to see is if, like, they go, okay, so what would it take to get this done? If I'm the Lakers, if I can keep my first, like, if you can do Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and, like, say 2 pick swaps instead of a first, I would do that in a heartbeat, right? Obviously, you have concerns about him long-term, but you'd still get a first, you'd get your center, you'd replenish one of those pick swaps in the offseason, plus you still have your second. So you'd still have 2 pick swaps. So you'd have first 2 pick swaps, a second, and then free up that roster spot to bring in Jordan Goodwin. And then now you can make some other moves and some big plays in the offseason. So if you win the championship this year, you can retool next year. The only reason I don't think the NBA would do that is because it would set a precedent that teams could exploit, right? Like, we're overpaying for this guy. Team gets second thoughts, and then now they want to, like, nix the trade so they can get it for cheaper and renegotiate. But, I mean, if Charlotte really wants to get the deal done, and that would be, like, kind of the argument, the other team has to agree to it still, right? So, like, if a team wants to try to use that as a loophole, if the other team doesn't agree, then it doesn't matter. So can the Lakers maybe kind of work this to, like, yeah, we like him, but we don't like him enough to give up what we were going to get. We thought we were getting this. We're getting this, right? We don't want to give up all the stuff we'd have to give up for this. We would for this, right? Maybe that's something. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I think nothing comes of it. I think what'll probably happen, though, I think the Lakers will get him, but they'll get him for like half the cost in the offseason. Because why in the world would Robert Williams want to stay on Charlotte? Why? Like, you traded me. I had to come back. You released an entire statement telling me how I'm your guy and that, all the Lakers were pushing very hard and the Lakers were doing everything they could to try to get him. And we made the tough choice. And Rob was like, they called us. Like, what are you talking about? Right? So now they look like liars. Now they look desperate. Now you're going to have Mark Williams furious. Right? Like, they might not have a choice. They might have to just essentially sell him for pennies on the dollar. So just something to kind of keep an eye out for. But anyway, 32-19. I love it. Gotta love it. Gotta keep going. Easy game, yeah. Hopefully we play them again. Hopefully the next one's an easy game as well. Luca and LeBron finna get Hayes paid. Yeah, facts. Dude, Hayes is about to get a bag. Like, dude, that guy's gonna eat so much. Yeah, Jordan Goodwin is fantastic. The dude is really good. I mean, look, when I evaluated him and I broke him down when the Lakers signed him, I talked about he's excellent rebounder for the guard position. Like, I talked about him, like, you look at guys like a Josh Hart, right? Who's just like, he's known for just the hustle plays, the dirty work, the defense, and the rebounding. That is Jordan Goodwin. Right? The hustle plays, the dirty work, the defense, and the rebounding. I mean, Jordan Goodwin himself even said, like, I know why they brought me here. They brought me here to rebound and defend, right? Like, he's a guy that knows his role, plays his role, does it very well, but can still knock down shots, and you saw it, right? Like, his three-point shooting, I know he's 50% tonight, but historically has not been great. But he's got a really good mid-range. When he gets to his spots, he can knock them down. A guy that I could see being a pretty solid contributor for the Lakers. Good rotation piece. But let's go. We're rolling. Luka not so great from three, but hey, it's okay. It's his first game in a month. He'll be all right. Every time I didn't see Luka on the bench, I got scared. That's just me. Yeah, I get it. No worries. He'll be fine. He'll get into the swing of things, so don't worry. 7 turnovers by LeBron was the only negative thing. Yeah, but like I said earlier, I can't get on it too much. Usually, like, I'm like, dude, LeBron, but he's been really good at taking care of the basketball, especially the last 2 months or so, month and a half, whatever it's been. So, bad turnover games, bad turnover nights happen. He's trying to show out, right? He's trying to impress the prom queen, right? Like, he's trying to, work it out with Luka and stuff like that. Couple forced passes, but I think he'll get back to taking care of the basketball. I think it'll be fun. Yes, Jordan Goodwin absolutely showed out tonight. I really hope that we can kind of figure out how to get him on the team, on the main roster. Our net basketball IQ with LeBron, Luka, and Redick and vet coaching staff is insane. Let's sign a rim protector and we're good, right? Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? I did a video earlier today talking about how JJ Redick really deserves his flowers, and I talked about the coaching staff, period, right? Well, I harped more on JJ because, look, he's going to get all the negative attention, so he should get the positive attention. But I really hit on, the coaching staff as a whole. The coaching staff, period, is fantastic. I mean, this is the Avengers of coaching staff. I talked about it with the Lakers, right, in 2020, right? Like, the team was excellent. Team was very good, but our coaching staff was as good as the team. And you saw that balance. And you're seeing the same thing here. And I love to see it. I still can't believe Tyler said Grant is better than Reeves. He also said he was a better fit, which I kind of agree. But Reeves is just so much better. It doesn't even matter. Who are you talking about? Which Grant? Talking about Jeremy Grant? I talked about trading. I haven't talked about trading for Jeremy Grant in a long time. And I talked about Jeremy Grant for Rui and Jared Vanderbilt. But I said Jeremy Grant would be our third best player, which he would be on both sides of the basketball. I mean, Reeves, don't get me wrong, he could score. He could score with the basketball. But fit-wise, I mean, you admit you agree. And then also he's still a 20 and even on a bad team where he's getting poor shots. He's still a very good basketball player. And being on this team with the defensive weapons and tools be very different. Luka was man tonight. His shot was off. Also, what does it mean that the Hornets are challenging the trade? Oh, I just broke it down. Hopefully, you're still here. It just means that they want the Lakers to go through with the trade. But Lakers have the proof. They have the evidence. They have they're not just going like, hey, we don't want to do the trade because we changed our mind, right? We got cold feet and just decided not to do it. No, they're doing it because, um, because of the physical, right? So they'll have the reports, they'll have everything. They'll just submit it to the NBA and be like, no, we wanted him long term. We thought we were getting a guy that could be our guy for the next 10 plus years, right? That's why we were trading for him, but we can't. This is why, right? And it'll be done and over. Or like I said, maybe the Lakers can kind of renegotiate. That could be nice. Man, if we just had a big, I'd feel so confident. Yeah, it'll come. They'll get it. They'll figure it out. I mean, none of the bigs are great on the market. That's why I said, like, if you could get Mark Williams for cheaper, like if you could, like if you could tell the NBA, like, hey, we'll do it, but like we don't want to give up Connect, Connect, Reddish and a first, right? Like we'll do everything else if we can keep the first. Then I would do it because at that point it's worth the risk. Even if you only get him for 5 years, right? Like say he starts breaking down after 5 years, right? Like you still had your first. You probably won a championship or two by now. So why not? I If Rob can get us Goodwin and Alex Lynn, I am a happy man. We need to sign those two ASAP. Goodwin is a good man. He's like a version of Bruce Brown and Alex Cruz, so he'd be a good piece to have. Yes, it's possible. It's just Lakers would have to wait is the problem. Because, again, it's all prorated, right? It's all prorated. So if you wait long enough, you could get both Alex Lynn and Jordan Goodwin. I don't think you can get both of them right now, but if you wait like a month, depending on what their vet minimums are, you could potentially get both. But Lakers would have to wait. Yeah, Jordan Goodwin is fantastic. Braun and Luca didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter. It's been a while. Yeah, facts. Do you think if the NBA reviews Williams' physical, then the trade will still happen this season? Not unless the Lakers can get it for less, right? Like, if I'm the Lakers, that's my argument. Because, again, the Lakers aren't nixing the trade because they have cold feet. They're nixing the trade because he's not good enough. So we'll see. We'll see. Wave Cam and Morris, sign Goodwin now, and maybe Jemison, aka Tony Snell. Problem is, like I said, Lakers they don't have like 3.8 million like they did with the Mark Williams trade. They only have I think it's 1.6 or 1.8 off the top of my head. It's one of those two. Obviously, that's a big difference, but they wouldn't be able to sign 2 or 3 guys yet. They could in a few weeks. So they just have to wait and be patient. Jackson Hayes is Lob City all day. Yes, agreed. Luka seemed nervous at the beginning of the game, but now he's laughing and stuff, and learning curve is there. But hopefully it's shorter than we think. Yeah, I mean it'll be fine, right? They looked fine together. It just he just got back from injury, right? So his legs weren't quite underneath him, which is fine. You saw everything you wanted to see from him, right? His scoring ability, his ability to apply, penetration, his ability to play make, his ability to maximize the lob threat, right? Like you got basically everything you could ask for. I love what I'm seeing from Goodwin. Great pickup for sure. Yes, 100%. Let's see. Luca looks a bit rusty, but it's all good. We will be back to it soon. Yes, agreed, 100%. He'll get back into the flow of things and end up getting it back. And Anthony, you need to listen better. I never said he can't play with Luka. I just said that there's better fits with Luka. Again, listening and comprehension is fundamental. Did you hear Sham say that Alex Lynn no longer wants to go to Indiana? Him and the Lakers have mutual interests. Yeah, I made a whole video about it. Go check out the video. I made a video about that and then my live reaction to Luka's first bucket. I love it. 6-game winning streak. Yes. Shake might be cooked. I mean, again, he was an added condition, right? Like, so no, whatever he gives you is just icing on the cake. But yeah, that Luka LeBron full court pass was clean. So there's going to be many more of those in the future. I can't wait. Tyler, this is a phenomenal game from LeBron that will be tainted by him deciding to be like Mahomes. 7 turnovers is just nuts. Need to stop doing that. He's been much better. Look, I'm first one to criticize LeBron for his turnovers, but he has been very good the last few weeks. I'm willing to kind of give him a pass. If it's something that continues, then we'll talk about it. But for right now, like I said, one bad turnover game is fine. They happen, right? It's just part of the game. Um, how are Lakers able to keep AR? Because Rob did a good job negotiating, right? Like when a team comes to you and says we have concerns about his long term, commitment to the game and his long term health, yeah, have a lot of leverage. Nico did a terrible job negotiating this trade. It's one thing to want to trade him. It's another thing to basically come in hot and being like, hey, we want to get rid of him because we think he doesn't condition or do anything else, right? It's just like, okay, like so at that point, you have all the leverage. At that point, you're good. Um, um, let's see. You swore up and down Lynn was out of the picture. I'd love to see when I said that. I don't think I've talked about Alex Lynn once this year. I mean, maybe I did. I just again, he signed with Indiana. He was expected to sign with Indiana. So if you asked me when he signed with Indiana, I might have been like, yeah, he's signed with Indiana, right? Like I don't think I would have swore up and down because again, I wouldn't have talked about Alex Lynn. I would have said he signed with Indiana because that was the report. He backed out of it, which found out today. But again, I haven't made videos about Alex Lynn until that news, right? Like you might have me confused with another channel because I don't think I've talked about Alex Lynn at all. I don't even remember comments from people talking about Alex Lynn, and I got a pretty good memory when it comes to that stuff. Goodwin needs a roster spot. Yes, agreed. Luca money. Uh, Luca is so out of shape. I'm not sure if I should be worried. He's fine. Goodwin looked good. Yes, he looked very good. Very, very good. Um, let's see. We got to find 2 players to waive. We need Goodwin because I say we waive Cam and Wood. Problem is again, Lakers are very limited on money. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head what Goodwin and like Alex Lynn's vet minimums would be right now because, like I said, they're prorated. So you have what? What are the Lakers? What are the Lakers? Lakers are how many games have they played? Is what I'm asking. They're let me pull it up. Give me a second. Um, I know they're 13 games over 500, but they are. So they played, what is that? 40, 50. They played 51 games. So you still have 31 games. I don't know what that pro rate is. I don't know what would it be for, 20, what is, or 31 games. Like, I don't know what that would be. If it's only like a couple 100,000, then yeah, you could bring in both. If it's like a million each, then you wouldn't be able to bring in both. Not right now. You'd have to wait. Um, let's see. Sign him now. Locked down in a bucket. Yes. Impressive win, but still need a center. Agreed. Got to get a center. Tyler Goodwin is an elite player in the mid-range and plays elite defensive rebounds well. He's better than Vando. I won't lie. He is legit Bruce Brown. I've seen enough. He's not better than Vando. I like I like Goodwin a lot. He's been very impressive. Vando is arguably one of, if not the best perimeter defenders in the entire league. He's still about a step or two behind, but like he's better than Jordan Goodwin. Jordan Goodwin, he's excellent rebounder. So is Jared. Jared Vanderbilt, now that Anthony Davis is off the team, is second in rebounds behind LeBron James. Like he is very good rebounder, very good offensive rebounder, very good just all around defensive versatile player. But Jordan Goodwin offensively is better. He's just better in the mid range. He's very good. If you could add Jordan Goodwin, that would be huge. That would give you that kind of point of attack guard, give you that big physical presence. I mean, he's the same height as Gabe Benson. He's 6'3", but he's got a good wingspan, and he's just bigger. Like he weighs more. He's just a bigger body, better lower center of gravity. You forgot to shoot, JK. Yeah, Goodwin was fantastic. Once Luka finds the spots on the Lakers floor, teams are going to be in trouble. Yeah, 100%. He just got back from 6 weeks and just first game, he'll be fine. Yeah, Jackson Hayes is going to be like I mean I talked about earlier. He's going to be probably you know I don't know 12 to 14 a night, probably what it is. Yeah, he has these boys playing basketball for sure. Jordan Goodwin deserves a spot. Let's hope Goat is good. He should be fine. Um, I mean he's about to have a week off, right? Like so that'll be good too. I know he plays in the All Star game, but that's not a real basketball game, right? It's not what it used to be. Um, I didn't know Jordan Goodwin. I didn't know Goodwin was that good. He helped us get a good win. Good win. I'm so lame. Hey, no, I'll take it. Bring in the puns. I love it. Uh, that dude is elite. Uh, Goodwin can be a Max Christie replacement. Defensively, he's not the shooter Max Christie is. Max Christie's a better shooter. But yeah, he could, as far as like the defense abilities go, yes, he can be that. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Gotta love that. If we get Alex Lynn, we're good. Yeah, he's arguably the best option available right now. Wave Cam and Wood and bring in Howard and McGee. Keep Goodwin. Great win. Problem is that they wouldn't be able to bring in all three. Also, McGee's cooked. Dwight Howard even said himself he's a podcaster now. Let's see. Let's go. Wave Shake and Cam. Jordan Goodwin needs a roster spot this year on next season. My only problem with waving Shake and Cam is you have two guys on the roster that can't play, that it's better to have the bodies than not. So, like, if I was going to waive anybody, it'd probably be Christian Wood. You could argue you need Christian Wood more than anybody because, like, his size and his versatility. But the problem is the best ability is availability, and we have no idea if he's going to play at all this year, and that's a bit of a concern. Steaks. Steaks coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. We should sign Jamison. Very mobile and physical. Yeah, look, I like Jamison. I think he gives you a good physical, mobile, athletic interior presence. 6'11", 270. I'm not against signing Jamison at all. I think he's a guy that can be kind of like what Dwight was in 2020. Not saying that he's better or anything like that, but I'm just talking about being that guy that is the enforcer, being the guy that's the goon, right? Like hitting people in the mouths, like do the dirty work. I really like that about him. If the Lakers can get Alex Lynn, then they're probably going to sign Alex Lynn. But if not, right, if everything like falls through, whatever, like if you told me worst case we ended up with Trey Jamison as our center, I'm fine. I think he's going to eat just like Jackson Hayes. Trey Jamison will probably be a double-digit a game guy. And, after that, it's just I think he'll give you the physical interior presence that you need. So I am all for it. He's no Max, but he looks good. Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's not Max replacement in the overall scheme of things, but he defensively, yes, he can do that. Goodwin's been playing a lot. I guess it's competition to shake. So yeah, Gabe is nice. Gabe has been fantastic. When Luca shakes out his rust, his three ball will look a lot smoother. It was rust why he missed. Yeah, he'll be fine. I'm not worried about it at all. Still could use a Kessler type center in the buyout or offseason. Yes, agreed. I imagine Lakers will address that soon. I don't know about you, but I'm happy Rui is still a Laker, and I feel like he's going to flourish more with LeBron and Luka. He definitely will flourish more without LeBron and Luka, just because he's a guy that he's going to get so many open looks. It's going to be insane. I mean, he missed like 3 of them, like just wide open looks. So he's going to be in very good shape. He's gonna feast off of Luka and LeBron shot creation. Look, I'm happy Rui is a Laker. I like Rui a ton. I just think if you can turn Rui into a bigger need, you do it, right? I still think Rui is a redundancy is my problem. I've talked about I would love Rui to be a Laker for life, but you could argue more now because when my thing was before is that because when LeBron retires, Anthony Davis was going to slide to the 4. Well, you don't have Anthony Davis anymore. So now Rui makes more sense long term because whenever LeBron retires, Rui can now slide to his natural position, which is the 4. But I don't think he's going to be around that long personally. I just think, Lakers are probably going to look to, and he's an expiring contract. Does he want to stay on the Lakers and kind of play the three, or would he like to go to a team where maybe he gets more opportunity and stuff like that? Like, there's a lot that the Lakers are going to have to evaluate in the offseason, right? A lot of decision making that the Lakers are going to have to make in the offseason, one way or another. Whether the Lakers win the championship or not, they're going to have a lot of tough calls, tough decisions. Give Shake Jordan's minutes and just give Trey Jameson more minutes. Yeah. Got some more super chats. Waja coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Had my usual 3 hits of the Stizzy after the win. Well, good for you. Glad we got the W. Glad we got the win. Huge beginning to the Luka era, right? Obviously, as Utah, you kind of expected the win, but still, you never know. Like, stranger things happen. But great win. I loved what we saw from him and what he can do. Andrew coming out $2 super chat. Biggest threat in the West for the Lakers. I think it depends on the type of center we get and if we get a center. I still think Denver. I like our chances against Denver a lot more, but I worry about the Jokic matchup. Not worried about the Rockets. I'm not really worried about the Thunder because Luka literally owns OKC. Like, he plays better against OKC than any team in the league. Not worried about Dallas. Still think Denver. I'd still think Denver. Denver still looks good. They're still hot. Grizzlies, I think, could maybe give us some trouble. I know we've owned the Grizzlies in the past, but they have good size now with Edie and Triple J, right? So I worry about can Zach Edey match up. I'm not saying Edey is like this all-world center, but Zach Edey is 7'4", 300 pounds. That could be a little bit of an issue for the Lakers. Basically, any team with like real interior size, I worry about. But your counter would be Luka and LeBron transcending, right? If they can do that, then we'd be in good shape. But Dallas I still think is the biggest threat to the Lakers. I just like our odds so much more, because Luka loves the ball out against Dallas. All the teams that we'd be worried about are all teams that I think. All the teams that we worry about are all teams that I think Luka balls out against. Like even the Clippers, Luka loves the ball out against the Clippers. So yeah, I think we'd be good. Let's see. The L-Storm coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. And it says it was your first super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hornets are disputing the Williams and Connect trade. What do you think will happen if Williams does end up back with the Lake Show? So I don't think it's going to happen because the Lakers aren't vetoing the trade or rescinding the trade, whatever you want to call it, voiding the trade. They're not doing it because they got cold feet. They're doing it because of injury issues, right? Lakers went into the trade with the assumption, whether the Hornets kept it from them or not, went into the assumption that hey, this is our franchise center. This is the guy that we're going to have for the next 10, 15 years, whatever, however long he plays in the league. This is the guy that we're going to have. They're not worried about the short term. They're worried about the long term. The Lakers are going to have those reports. The Lakers are going to have that data that they're going to be able to show to the NBA. I don't think the NBA is going to want to get involved because it would set a precedent either way that could be bad because teams can exploit that. So I think either A, what will happen is the NBA will just say, don't worry, hey, they have the right to refuse that. You two are completely separate entities. Yeah, you're under the NBA conglomerate, but you're your own organizations. Both sides have the rights to refuse, right? But there has to be grounds for that. Lakers have the grounds for that, and that'll be that, which puts the Hornets in a terrible position. I think the Lakers are going to get him, whether it's now or in the offseason, for cheap. The other alternative that I see, if the NBA might want to just kind of get this over with and not have this drag out and stuff, is I could see the NBA being the mediator and going what would it take for you? What would make you comfortable to get this deal done, right? Or the Hornets saying that. What would the Lakers need? What would we have to do to get this deal done because we want to get off of Mark Williams, right? If I'm the Lakers and that's the case, I'm like, I want to keep my first. You can have Connect, take Cam Reddish, right? Instead of a first, we'll give you a second or a pick swap. You can choose, take your pick, but we're keeping the first because at that point it's worth the risk. Because even if, like, say Mark Williams only plays 5 years and then he starts falling apart, right? You're good, right? That'll take him through his next contract. You still have your first to go make big moves and big plays. Either that, or I think that happens in the offseason, right? The Lakers will re-engage with that, and they'll end up keeping their first and end up getting Mark Williams for like 2 pick swaps and a second or something like that, right? And trade Dalton Connect. Because at this point, the Hornets are probably have no choice but to trade him. And I don't know how many teams are going to trust to take him on unless they can get him. They can get him for like dirt cheap than they would. But a lot of teams are going to look at and be like, dude, the Lakers need a center more than any team in the league. And they said, nah, we're good on Mark Williams. There's a reason for that. Lakers aren't just turning that down because they felt like it. So a lot of teams are going to stay away from that. And you think Mark Williams is going to be happy? No, Mark Williams is going to look at this and be like, dude, you traded me. After you traded me, you gave a whole speech about how I was your guy and that Rob Pelinka was a liar, that they came to us and they were pushing us and they were pursuing Mark Williams so hard, blah, 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 blah. And then that I'm your guy and you're not worried. And then you turn around and go try to sell me again, right? Like you try to force the trade to go through. Like, so clearly you don't want me. Clearly you don't have belief in me. Clearly I'm not your guy. Clearly you went and talked to Rob, not the other way around like you're trying to claim. This was the worst thing the Hornets could have done. What? Because now they have zero leverage, not only against the Lakers, but any team. What they should have done is just kept their mouth shut, released the statement that they did, and then just went into the offseason and try to renegotiate with the Lakers and see if you could do it again, right? Maybe even take less. But now the Lakers could be like, dude, I'm not giving you I'm not giving you anything. I'll trade you Dalton Connect. I'll trade you, Dalton Connect in a pick swap. They lost all their leverage. Their star center is now going to be furious and want nothing to do with this organization. They botched this every way possible. This was the final nail in the coffin. This was the dumbest thing that they could have done. They should have just hey, we released the statement, left it alone, and been done. But instead, they got, they basically ruined it. They ruined themselves. So, hey, bad teams do make bad decisions, right? So, anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you again. Like I said, for everyone that wants to know, I will have that video. I do a whole video breakdown of it. It's already recorded. It's already done. I recorded it as soon as the news came out, but it was like right before the Luka game. So I wanted to wait on that. So that video will be the first video in the morning. So look forward to that video in the morning. But let's see. I remember when we kept scoring 102. Give me 132, baby. Here we go. Yes, 100%. I will gladly take the point total. You're going to see a lot more of those point totals coming here pretty soon. Yeah, Hornets stunned themselves. Yeah, exactly. It was stupid. Like, you should have just kept your mouth shut and left it alone, right? Like, and then just renegotiated in the offseason. We actually blew out and win games against bad or average teams now. Yeah. Lakers have the second best record against teams under 500. I think we're second behind OKC, something like that. And we have like the second best home record or something. I just talked about this again. Reeves look cool. Yeah, Reeves look fine. He's gonna benefit a lot. I still like the idea of a two-way guy, but he's gonna benefit a lot. Utah is a bad team. But great test or good test on how we fare against height. We definitely are going to get killed in the paint, but good center. But we're going to lock up the rest of the team. Yeah, it's just, again, it's about team effort, crashing as a team, defending as a team, right? You're really going to have to buy into the team regime, right? It's not going to be like, hey, we'll just trust Anthony Davis to clean everything up, rebound the basketball, and do all that stuff. You're going to have to come together collectively. Why go small when we have Jemison? Because Lakers need to work on their small ball because they're going to run a lot of small ball this year because they just don't have a ton of center options. If we get Alex Lynn, yes, we can win the chip. And if we get Luca gets in shape, yeah, it'll. I just need somebody that can be serviceable for just to get you through the season. Give me any center at this point. uh, Olenek and these. My problem with these, he's like 6'8", right? Like not a real center. Kelly Olynyk, I wouldn't hate. Um, he's hard nosed. He's physical. Could be a little dirty, but as long as he's on your team. We played small half the game with Rui and LeBron at center. Yeah, because you got to get used to the small ball. Lakers are going to have to run a lot of small ball. It's how they're going to counter most teams, spreading them out and just kind of blitzing them. Luca looked rusty all night, or looked rusty all good though. His pass remains. Yeah, he'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. First game back after missing 6 weeks. Brand new team. You're not settled in. You don't want to 50-50. Connect looked very awkward on the bench, but you can't blame him. Also, did you see the Hornets are wanting? Yeah, the NBA trade. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't really blame Connect, right? I mean, he thought this was the team. He thought this was the team that wanted him. I mean, this is bad for all parties involved, but the Hornets just kept going with it, and now they've screwed themselves. So, yeah. What's happening with Connect? He's upset. He's hurt, right? Like the team just tried to trade him. Um, or something. What a game by Goodwin. Yeah, he was fantastic. Tyler, between Olynyk and Jamison, we can. I don't put that. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to wish injury on anybody. You beat them fair and square. You beat them fair and square, right? Guys get hurt now. We've lost to them every time they're fully healthy. I don't want to put that in the universe. No, like that's a good way to look at what Dallas. Um, Goodwin had one good game, if anything. You take Milton's minutes, not Connects. Are you talking to somebody else? Uh, I'm assuming that's a response to somebody. Why am I seeing Dorian Finney-Smith at center? You can put Koloko and Jemison. Because again, they got to work on the small ball. You're not going to have Jamison and Koloko come playoff time. You only get 50 games a year out of them. So you gotta work on the things that you're going to need come playoff time. Um, Gabe is back, baby. Yeah, he's been great these last few games. He's been really good. Charlotte Dent's trying to pull a fast one on the CFS. Thanks. How would you feel about Stanley Johnson? I mean, good size, good strength, good length, all those things. Like he's a guy that could really make some sense for the Lakers. You're probably bringing in Jordan Goodwin before you bring in Stanley Johnson because you need that kind of point of attack guard. And I think he could do that. To me, that's a guy that they're interested in, that they want to kind of keep under their umbrella, probably for next season more likely than not, because you're going to need to fill out that roster with like some vet minimum guys, especially if the Lakers make some big splashes in the offseason. You're probably looking at keeping guys like, Koloko and Jamison and, Stanley Johnson and a Jordan Goodwin, like these guys. You're probably going to have 4 or 5 guys on vet minimum contracts, right? Because your Lakers are probably going to make big splashes. Probably going to go get, a Miles Turner and a Bruce Brown, and then there's all your money. And now it's just like, well, we need to fill 5 roster spots. How do we do that? Well, you sign a bunch of vet minimum guys. So, let's see. I just covered that. The disputing the trade. Um, let me see. Uh, Kessler overrated. He's good, but doesn't affect games much. I disagree. I think in the right environment, it's kind of hard to affect games when you're essentially the only guy on a team that is abysmal. You put him on the Lakers, right? Like he's gonna feast offensively. He would look like an all-star with the Lakers. Um, let's see. Uh, Jordan Goodwin was a great pickup. Reminds me of Lonnie Walker. Uh, He's better defensively and a better rebounder. Lonnie Walker's just he's more of like a vacuum scorer. Um, I hope Braun is not injured, and I hope Vando is okay. We can't even celebrate a win in peace, Tyler. Dinner, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let's see. Reeves 45-point game sealed it. Let's see. Jordan Goodwin is a good pickup if they sign him for the rest of the season. Also need a center. Yeah, like I said, Lakers probably have to wait. Maybe they can. Maybe they can get both. Like I said, I don't know what their prorated rate is, but chances are they'll probably have to get one now and then wait till towards the end of the season for the other, which means they'll probably play Jordan Goodwin, 50 games and then get him acclimated and then sign him right before the season's over. Man, we look great. Yeah. Um, Lakers should use DPEs on Wood and sign Alex. Problem is they're not out for the season, right? It works that they're out for the season. As far as we've heard, as far as we know, which again could happen, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Let's see. Alex Lynn is on the way. Yeah, looks to be the case. Let's see. Once Luca is healthy, it's up. Let's go Lake Show, and it's going to be fun and a great night, everyone. Yes, it's going to be a fantastic. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Beautiful things coming. Lakers undefeated when Markieff Morris plays. You want a better stat? Lakers are undefeated with Jared Vanderbilt. Lakers have not lost a game in which Jared Vanderbilt's played. They are, 8-0 now with Jared Vanderbilt in the lineup? Fun fact. The more you know. We need Christie and Miles Turner, yeah. Let's see. Yes. Oh, yeah. I just said the same thing. Still undefeated when Vando plays. Yes. He's happy to get some playing time when the trade happened. Sorry, Keith, you only played in blowouts. Yeah. Hey, it's better than nothing. I mean, he was getting like zero run. He was getting like no playing time. I mean, he even did a podcast with Udonis Haslam recently, and he talked about the Luka trade. He talked about like when he got the word that he got traded, he was like, "Who in the world?" He's like, "I haven't played in 2 years." Like he's like, "I've been on rosters, but he's like, I haven't played in 2 years, and now somebody wants to trade for me." He's like, "That's weird." But then but then he found out that Luka got traded in the trade, and he was like, "Man," he's like, "You could trade me for a bag of chips at that point." He's like, whatever. He's like, "I'd go for free." Like, Mac's fourth game in a row, he had 15 or more for the Mavs. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's gonna be great. Like that's the one guy I wish we would have kept. I would have rather given up an extra first or something than and kept Christie, honestly. LaMelo for Dalton. Didn't LaMelo get hurt again tonight? Lakers should pull that would be my thing. Like, hey, if you want this deal to get done, we want to keep our first. Like, we'll do the trade right now. We'll get it done, finalized, but we want to keep our first. Otherwise, like, no, you keep them. Uh, uh, oh yes, thank you. Yeah, I answered this comment through a super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that again. Also, whatever goofy stuff the Hornets are doing right now, I just laugh at. Lakers should beat them by 100 plus next time we see them after the All-Star game VFX. It would be sweet if the NBA punishes the Hornets for trying to pull off a sketchy trade. and force them to send assets to the Lakers as compensation. I would love something like that. But realistically, like I said, more likely than not, it's going to go, right? Because the Hornets are going to say, like, he passed our physicals and all that stuff. Lakers are going to be like, look, we have the higher standard. We're the team that's paying the stuff, right? Like, each team is allowed to have their standards, right? Each team is allowed to operate and run the organization as they seem fit. I mean, if they just like completely lied, then yes, I don't know if they completely lied, right? I don't know. Like, again, they might have, obviously Lakers knew about the injury history. It's just like, was this something that was, completely unknown? Because supposedly the Lakers found stuff that is concerning for long term, right? They're not really worried about right now, that they believe he's healthy right now, but long term, because they want him for the next, again, they want him to be their franchise center, right? But their concern is that, like, he's going to start deteriorating and falling apart, right? Based on our analysis and the way that we did our tests, this came up that he's not going to hold up, right? Like Andrew Bynum. It's one of the reasons why Andrew Bynum fell to Lakers and all that stuff, right? Like, and he deteriorated, right? He fell apart over time, right? That's what the Lakers are saying. The Lakers are saying, like, yeah, he's fine right now, but we don't only want him for right now. We want him for the next 10 years. If in 2-3 years he falls apart, like, that's not what we're trading him for. We're not trading him for this next 2-3 years. We're trading him for, the next 10. So that's their argument. Pulling Coyote apology. Hornets gonna take the Lakers to court. Yeah, they're gonna try. They're not gonna. Like I said, nothing's gonna happen. Again, Lakers aren't backing out of it because they feel like they're backing out of it because they have tests, right? So they're gonna have that data. They're gonna show that data to the NBA, and they're gonna be like, here, and here. These are why we're not doing it, right? And then the NBA is gonna go, hey, they don't want to do it, right? Like, they have plausible cause to nix the trade. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, Christian Braun, or Christian Brown is his name. It's spelled Braun. Christian Brown is playing really well. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Alex Len would feed us. Alex Len would be solid. I think he's probably the best option out there. Veteran, guy you can rely on, count on. Let's see. Yeah, Jordan Goodwin. Hopefully they can get him on the team at some point. Even when we first got Goodwin, I said that's the difference between him and Bruce Brown's game. What's the difference between him and Bruce Brown's game? Bruce Brown is a better slasher, off-ball player, better cutter. Both guys can defend. Bruce Brown, you can argue, does a slightly better job of defending bigger, right? But both guys, like, there are a lot of similarities, right? Like, you can make the comparables. But Bruce Brown he's better at getting to his spots. I'm not talking about just offensively, like with the ball. I'm talking about like the assignments and role. Better screen setter, better slip man. Let's see. Yeah, Reeves has been more consistent recently. January 15th, the Lakers can use the disabled player exception before March 10th deadline, so we could use Steinwood and Alexson. Problem is, like I said, I believe, again, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe you can only do that if a player's out for the year. And Wood, as well as Kleba are not out for the year. So Levine forgot how to shoot. I don't think it's that. It's just, again, he's on a team filled with guys that do the same thing he does. That's why that trade made no sense. It's silly. I still would like Kessler. Kessler would do wonders on this team. Again, don't let him being on a bad team with no defense fool you. I'm good with Goodwin and Alex Len likewise. I think those two could do wonders. Let's get some cheaper. Let's get someone cheaper. I don't watch Nets games, but Claxton and Sharp look better from what I've seen. I wouldn't mind Sharp. Claxton he's better versatile. He's better versatility wise defensively. Um, but yeah, problem is his price. He's expensive. Connect did not look good. Did not look happy on the bench. Yeah, I mean the dude just got traded, right? He's probably not thrilled at all. I hope it doesn't affect his gameplay though. Uh, can't get Goodwin later down the road. Two-way contracts can only play. That's why I said sign him. You can sign him before the season's over, so you can play him the 50 games. Let him play the 50 games, and then before the season starts or before the playoffs start, you waive somebody and you bring him in. Let's see. Renegotiate the Mark Williams trade. Can use him to go back up a big if he's inconsistent with his injuries. Yeah, I don't know if the NBA would allow that because, like I said, you run the risk of a precedent. But like I said, I mean the other team has to agree, right? And how often does a trade get nixed because of something like this? Usually, this rarely happens, right? So maybe the NBA would allow it, like kind of like, hey, if the Hornets are willing to agree to it, fine. But the Hornets would also have to agree to it. Um, who we kicking out of our roster? Probably Cam Reddish and Christian Wood are probably the two most likely. Hey Tyler, what's your ideal 9 to 10 man rotation regular season and playoffs? Problem is they're not going to probably run 9 to 10 in the playoffs. Maybe they will, but usually you cut it down to like 8 or 9. But obviously Luca, LeBron, Austin Reeves, Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, and then your center, if it's Alex Lynn or Jackson Hayes, you're 8, right? And then beyond that, it's just like, whoever else is in there. No certain matchups. Maybe you're going with Jordan Goodwin a little more, right? Got whoever steps up, picks it up. Um, what about Chris Boucher if he gets waived? I'm not a big Chris Boucher guy. Um, I wouldn't hate him, but I just feel like he gives you a lot of the same stuff Jackson Hayes does. You could argue he's slightly better shot blocker. He's basically like a worse Christian Coloco if Christian Coloco got minutes. Like I would rather bring in Coloco if you're going to bring in Boucher personally. Um, the only reason I'd rather bring in Trey Jamison over both is because I like the idea of different looks at center, right? Think of the 2020 season, right? You had Anthony Davis, who was the skill center that could do everything. You had Dwight Howard, who was the enforcer, interior presence, just goon, muscle guy. And then you had JaVale McGee, who was the floor running, lob threat, could block shots, right? I like the different looks. I think the Lakers could do something similar where you have the small ball to where you can go Rui for just like a more physical presence. You can go Dorian Finney-Smith for a better defensive presence. You can go with LeBron James for that skill presence. And then you can go with like Jemison for like that big interior physical presence. And then Jackson Hayes for the lob threat, stuff like that. So, all right. Let me do like a handful of more questions and I'm going to get on out of here. Obviously, super chats take priority, but outside of that, I'm just going to go in order and then see. Any thoughts on a EuroLeague center? I mean, probably not. I mean, if there was, I'm sure teams would probably be snagging them by now, right? Especially when you look at kind of the European players that, if they were, my point is that they were good enough, they'd probably already be on a roster, right? Especially in today's NBA with the European movement, especially in particular bigs. If there was a center in the European market that was good enough, a team would probably already have them on the roster. If they could actually do it. So, let's see. We might see a LeBron, Luka, Jordan, Goodwin team up in the playoffs. Yeah. Let's see. I would be surprised the Lakers win more than 2 games against OKC. I disagree. I think they match up great. Their interior presence, their size, right? Not the center spot, obviously, but Chet Holmgren is like LeBron can lock up. He's frail and skinny. Rui can do the same thing. Just get physical, get into his chest. Isaiah Hartenstein Could be a little bit of troubles, but he's like what we want Jackson Hayes to be, right? He's not this like super skilled big that's just going to go and dominate the game on both sides of the basketball. He's more of a hustle, dirty work guy. Yeah, he can have games where he'll go and get you, 20 or whatever. But I think Lakers have enough to contain him. I mean, you have Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt as the point of attack on SGA. Jared Vanderbilt in particular, because by the time you play them in the playoffs, Jared Vanderbilt has a very good history at keeping him in check. So, yeah, I think Lakers would be fine. And you're going to have Luka to neutralize SGA's production. So it's just like so go down the list, right? SGA and Luka probably wash each other out. LeBron is better than Chet, so that's an upgrade. And then do you put Austin Reeves over, Jalen Williams, right? As far as third guys go, and then after that, it just trickles in. Like I like Rui over like Dort or, Caruso or those guys, right? Or the other Jalen Williams, right? I like, if you go down the list, like I like the Lakers' fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh guy better than OKC's, because OKC's kind of third, fourth, fifth guy are just like defensive pieces, right? That don't really give you too much offensively. So you kind of have that counterbalance. But look at all their defensive pieces. All their defensive pieces are smaller guards, like Dort, uh, uh, Alex Caruso, like these guys. I think the Lakers match up fine. I think that they would be. I think they'd be good. Um, I think Lakers win that series. OKC's had trouble with the Lakers the last few years. Even last year, they had trouble with them. Um, Goodwin is still eligible to play 31 games as a two-way until they decide to convert him. That would be cheaper. Yeah, exactly. Like that's my guess. Is the Lakers probably wait till the very last minute, because at that point his contract would be like 100 grand or 200 grand, and then they could sign him. So that's my guess. All right, let's do like three more here. Yes, Turner is available in the off season. I like Goodwin, but if we pick him up, he wouldn't step foot on the court in the playoffs. Maybe in spots as just like an assignment guy. Like I could see him coming. Like say we play the Thunder, right? I could see you deploying him, from like deploying him on, like SGA just to like just give you another body to wear him down over the course of a season, right? Like that's like how the Lakers did against Jokic in their matchup, right? Like Lakers can do that with various teams, right? Like you throw Jordan Goodwin, you throw Jared Vanderbilt, you throw Dorian Finney-Smith, and then just wear him down over the course of a 7-game series. To be honest, I always check out when Jemison comes in. He's actually good. He seems just big robotic when I watch versus the Wizards. Yeah, I like Jemison a lot. He moves his feet well. He's athletic. He can be a lob threat. He can do all the things that you want him to do. I think he would be fine, right, if you were able to get him. Sign Jemison for all 100%. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy watching Goodwin. He always have a way of making use of not so big names to be great role players, hidden gems. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. He was really good for Phoenix last year. He gave Reeves and D'Lo fits, right? Like D'Lo and Reeves were struggling with his ball pressure. So he's a guy that I could really see kind of being a piece. You can have Claxton in the offseason, just give us connect. Problem is Claxton's just so expensive. That's the issue. Jemison was blowing me. He fouls too much. Yeah, but that's fine. Like you're looking for him to just be like a 15-minute a game guy, and you just want him to make his fouls count, right? Especially come playoff time, right? Like I like him as that, right? Like I want good, hard playoff fouls, right? We're playing Denver, make Jokic work, right? You foul him, make it count. Nothing dirty. Like I don't want dirty play, right? Like I don't want him like sweeping guys' legs or anything like that. But like Dwight did in the 2020 year, right? Just hammered Jokic. Like Jokic was getting tired, gassed. He was getting frustrated, right? Dwight was really getting under his skin. Obviously, it's a very different Jokic 5 years ago. I mean, he's won MVPs and just been now is the best player in the league. But I like Jamison as just like I said earlier, that goon, that guy that just comes in and just boom, hitting people in the mouth, giving a good elbow in the back of the back of the lower back, right? Like just digging into him. Right? Again, good, hard playoff basketball. No, nothing dirty. I don't want anything dirty, but give me a good hack, right? No easy buckets. No easy buckets. Yeah, he's Draymond Green specifically. Yeah, the football player, right? Like that's what I want. I just want good hard fouls, clean fouls, but hard fouls. Right? Make them pay. Make it count. All right, let's do this. Luca and LeBron would be the first incomplete team to win it all, and it would make sense being those two. 100%. Right? Like if any small ball team could win a championship, it would be these guys. Right? I mean, you talk about two of the greatest offensive players, two of the greatest just shot creators, two of the best playoff performers ever in history, literally. So, yeah, that I would be all for that. But anyway, I'm gonna skate on out of here. I got a ton of videos to make, ton of things to get ready for tomorrow. So yeah, got all the Luca news, stuff like that. We got a bunch of Laker news that has came out. So I had a long night, got a busy night. I'm glad we got this first win. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, I really appreciate all of you for that. Everyone that's here, I appreciate you as well. On your way out, please take a quick second, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. I greatly appreciate it. Check out my Luca reaction video. I recorded like the first 8 minutes of the game because it took him forever to score his first game. He just kept throwing lobs to Jackson Hayes. But yeah, go check out my reaction video and stay tuned for the other videos. I appreciate you guys. You guys are beautiful. You guys are awesome. And I will see you all in the next one.